Oh, hi. I'm a smart investor. I dare say that because I understand the cryptocurrency markets and I am up to date on every new development, fintech and blockchain ecosystem. All because I watch the Inside Blockchain show on Crypto TV Plus. Every Monday morning, Crypto TV Plus brings you news headlines of top stories, interview with an expert, and give you detailed market analysis to enable you make the right business moves. Now you too can become a smart investor if you don't miss it. The Inside Blockchain Show, only on Crypto TV Plus.
Are you there? It's your boy. No, sorry, it's your daddy, Mr. Macaroni. Keep watching Crypto TV Plus if you want to be doing well, especially. You get me now? Alright, you're doing well.
Hello and welcome to the program. This is Inside Blockchain, live from Crypto TV Plus. I am Bobby Anyadike. Now, before we proceed, if this is your first time on the program, do well to follow us across our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel and tap the bell icon to stay updated for the next episode of the Inside Blockchain. Now, today on the Inside Blockchain, we'll be talking to a very significant individual, a woman in her prime, if I may put it that way, who has not ceased to do remarkably well in the blockchain sector, specifically in the NFT space. She's no other person but Karla Obakpolor, the CEO of Qlip.io and Crypto Smart now. But before I bring her to your screens, we'll go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome into the Metaverse on Crypto TV Plus. In today's video, we're going to be taking a portal into the Toyoverse. Now, what is the Toyoverse all about? Let's find out. Founded in 2021 by Ramil El Tawil and Mickey Hong, Toyo is a play-to-earn fighting game built on Polygon blockchain with strategic gameplay and NFT collectibles or tokens as rewards. In this Metaverse game, users make use of NFT action figure characters, body parts, and item ownership to fight.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bull of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is still Inside Blockchain, live from Crypto TV Plus. My name is still Bobby Anyadike. And before we went to that short commercial, I did mention that we'll be talking to a very special friend of mine, if I may put it that way. She is Karla Obakpolor, the CEO of Qlip.io and Crypto Smart now. Karla, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here.
How are you today?
Amazing.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you. All the way in the city of Lagos. Thank you so much for honoring the invite.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. So just to put it out there, Qlip is Africa's #1 cross-chain NFT platform, and Crypto Smart is #1 asset management company, if I'm correct. Crypto asset management company. That's fantastic. So Karla, I believe we've had previous discussions on the Inside Blockchain, and this is obviously the first time you're joining us live in the studio, which is very exciting.
Really exciting. Yeah. You guys have something amazing. Yeah.
I believe the people out there, the viewers out there, some of them who are meeting you for the first time would want to get to know who you are. So how would you describe yourself? Who is Karla Obakpolor?
Okay. In some certain communities, described as the builder. Okay. If they're watching, I'm pretty sure they know themselves. Okay. But I'm someone who really likes to build platforms.
Okay.
And I really love to build for Africa. I'm really passionate about this continent because looking at the blockchain space, it seems like when we have this thing where we say, we want to promote blockchain adoption in Africa, promote blockchain adoption in Africa. When you hear other countries talking about promoting blockchain adoption, they look at producing developers, producing Web3 producers, people who contribute to the Web3 ecosystem. But in Africa, it seems like there's a dearth of that resource.
Okay.
We don't have so much developers, so much Web3 value producers or platforms, that were built by us. So I'm really passionate about building products that we can use for the continent, because our economic system is quite different. Our market is quite different from the market out there, from those in the West. So getting them to build platforms that we would use might not really solve the problems that are here. So I believe Africans will build for Africa.
Because Africans understand African
exactly.
problems. So that's fantastic.
So I'm really passionate about building products Africans will use. Every platform I've talked about, Qlip, the Bitsave protocol, which is something I hope I get to talk about later during the show. It's something that even the way we wrote the algorithm, it's tailored to help, the African economy, the average man who just wants to save, and all, different from the kind of protocols that we have out there. So Karla is essentially somebody who loves to build for the African continent.
That's fantastic. So in a very simple sentence, Karla Obakpolor is a builder. So I think that best describes it. So Karla, in the last virtual interview we had on this show, I asked you what your thoughts are on the drivers of NFT adoption, specifically in Nigeria, to which you replied, you said, it relies solely on the artists or the creatives. Now, this was in August 2021 when we had that discussion. Now, when you looking back, as we've come thus far, observing the way the NFT space has evolved or is still evolving, would you still maintain that same opinion that the drivers of NFT adoption are primarily the artists or the creatives? Because personally, I believe most people get into NFTs due to FOMO, that's fear of missing out. So just to get your personal opinion, would you still maintain that artists are the primary drivers of NFT adoption?
Yes, I would. And this is the reason. The reason they can FOMO is because there's something to FOMO into. So if the creators were not there, what would the users be, in quote, FOMOing into? What NFTs would they be buying to flip? Now, that also begs the questions of who are actually creators or who are artists. Today, we have something called generative art. A developer can actually, without being an artist, can create NFTs of different variations. And that's basically used from fictional thoughts, fictional characters. So you create characters of bunnies, of apes, of certain kind of creatures, and all you do is probably randomize their artifacts, you randomize the accessories that they have or the color of the backgrounds. And that can be just put into code. So you have developers who are saying they're artists, but actually, essentially, they're just developers who create these NFTs, and people FOMO into them, build communities and all. But in the real sense of it, the value for NFTs, which I keep talking about, which is utility, is driven by the artist. What we see right now is like what happened in 2017 with Ethereum, when Ethereum came set up, and then they did an ICO and raised a lot of funds, and then projects could start creating tokens on Ethereum blockchain. So then it was very cheap. So anybody could go create a token and say, oh, we're doing one private sale, one ICO, and bam, people have run with people. People are investing. People are investing, and then bam, some persons are going away with some person's money. But we got projects that came out of that period. We got good project that came out of that period, who understood how to fuck the Ethereum blockchain and build from there. So that's the kind of thing we're seeing right now. So a lot of NFTs come in. We've had issues where people just put in money, buy some certain NFT, and tomorrow the contract is null and void. Somebody has
and even recently, sorry to cut in. Even recently, we learned that the Jack Dorsey first tweet, he bought for a very ridiculous amount, and he's finding it very difficult to sell it right now.
There's no utility for that. The future of NFTs, I dare say it now, which is utility, because this kind of ICO craze that we had, that we're seeing now with NFTs, where anybody's just creating stuff and it's like a high-end scam in quotes. Anybody just creating stuff and going to people's money. There are some projects that are actually building on-chain utility, So out of this period, we're going to see really good projects, NFT projects come out. We're going to see some that will just die out, that were really nothing in the first place. Now, another thing that I'm really looking at is the the African entertainment industry. One person, one artist that I can really say who is actually applying the use of NFT in itself is this guy, this Buju guy. Yeah, I think Buju.
Yeah, he created, Lens that he created an NFT collection.
Around
Heads by Buju, I think that's the
around
name of the
his
collection.
fans.
Yeah.
Now, the utility for that NFT is him. It's like what Gary Vee did with V Friends. People who held V Friends can access his wealth of knowledge. You can have meetings with him. You can have coaching sessions with him. You can attend his conferences. So V Friends gave you utility access to Gary Vee.
Speaking of utility, if I can just come in, you did mention it's a good thing you mentioned utility as one of the reasons why people actually get into NFTs or why someone would buy an NFT. But Karla, let's be rational. So far, have we seen any real world utility from some of the NFTs collection we are seeing, apart from the hype, apart from the financial gains that most people are getting from it? What significant or real world use case would you say people get from NFTs?
This is why I'm really passionate about setting up Qlip, even though we've had some challenges, because what you call the real world utility is what we call off-chain utility. Utility off the blockchain. Now, most common real world utility that you can have right now is access utility, where someone like Buju is already applying that. His fans that hold his NFTs have access to his events, to his live parties, to his live events. So rather than paying,
is it like an exclusive right without you having to pay? Without
you having to pay. So you hold his NFTs, you can attend this party. So instead of paying probably 5K or 10K, you already have access. And he can decide to say, okay, you have this access for the next 2 events. Probably if he's going to release another NFT collection, then he could, let's say he's having some other events, he could say, okay, fine, this new NFT collection is for these other events, and as his career advances, the value of that NFT begins to increase. So just by being a fan, you're earning back. So that's just one aspect, access utility. The other one I talk about is a situation where artists can have the virtual, that's the NFT of their products on chain. And then anybody who buys that NFT can have the physical work delivered to them. And I gave an instance of the fashion industry. We've got really good fashion designers in Africa, and people want some sense of exclusivity in their, I know this for a fact because my younger sister is a fashion designer, Vondama. So this is the idea. Say you have an exclusive design of dresses you're releasing. You can have those designs as NFTs. The people who buy those NFTs have the dress. So you can deliver the dress to them.
Will they eventually own the physical dress? Because owning it virtually is different.
That's what I'm saying. You can have the dress delivered to them. And that brings to part the area of community, where you can have direct, just like on Instagram, you can, Two-Face makes a post, you like it, you can make a comment. He sees them. If he wants to respond to you, he can respond to you. So Qlip is building that kind of ecosystem where if I buy your NFT and there's utility for it, I can immediately DM you on chain saying, okay, I just got, and you on your own end, the artist on your own end, you already have the details because the token is on your wallet. You can see the transaction details and all. And then all we need to do is connect. Okay, send your sizes and all. And the dress is made and it's exclusively for you. No other person can have that kind of design. That's one aspect. For artists that do arts like painting, sculptures, real life art, you can have the tokenized version on chain and then also deliver the main work, the physical work to them.
Chain.
The same thing, I think, I'm not sure I don't know if it's confirmed, but we know about Don Jazzy buying certain collections
of NFTs.
Of NFTs from a certain artist. He's going to have the tokenized version of those NFTs.
And also the real world.
The real world
copy.
I said about Don Jazzy just bought the real world copy. When the tokenized one is out, he's going to get the top rarity level because he already has the reward on. The other aspect is also for our real estate. And a lot of people are not looking at that yet.
I think we'll have to get into that. We'll just need to Karla dishing out wisdom, Karla dishing out NFT knowledge. We'll just have to go on a quick break and we'll pick it up. Stay with us.
Welcome to another episode on exploring NFT projects. We're going to be checking the VFriends NFT. VFriends NFT is a community centered on creatives as well as business owners through the use of NFT technology and its smart contract functionality. Chairman of VaynerX, Gary Vaynerchuk, created the VFriends NFT represented by characters with human qualities based on parodies or caricatures. The Friends in VFriends emphasizes Gary's point of view as he believes doing.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the Bo of the Bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Thank you for staying with us. This is still Inside Blockchain, live from Crypto TV Plus. My name is Bobby Andike. And before we went on a break, I was actually having a very in-depth discussion with the CEO of Qlip.io and CryptoSmart.io, Karla Obakpolor. She is a very big and very, very instrumental player in the Nigerian NFT space. Karla, once again, you're welcome to our program.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So now let's talk a bit about we've discussed on NFTs, utility, and all that. So let's dive a bit more into your platform, Qlip.io.
Okay.
What is going on? What you released, I saw online you released the collection, the Beningin Collectibles, and I see you've been doing remarkably well, so many new products you're releasing out there. So just talk to us, what is going on? What should we look forward to?
Okay.
What is going on with Qlip It? Oh, you had to take a deep breath for that.
Yes, because you know when you start and there's this passion, it gets tested over time, and it gets tested with challenges. It's like when you're doing a marathon. At first there's this very fast pace, and then there's this now pace where you slow down.
Catch your breath.
That because it's a long journey. So that's where we are at. When we started, we had a lot of challenges. The first challenge that we had was tech wise. We contracted some persons to build our platform, and we had some communication-ish during the process, and it didn't turn out the way we designed it, and that also brings to mind the tech
space.
Yes, the tech resources that we need, in our country. If we're going to build something, for Africans, we should have developers who understand how, the whole...
Who understand the assignment.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was really a big challenge, but we didn't stop at that. So the plan was, okay, let's get an MVP so we can have at least, even if it is a certain handful of artists using the platform, we can have that. And then we scale from there. So we can show investors that these are the numbers. This is what's happening, because one of the challenge we had is investors didn't understand what we're trying to do. One, they didn't think Africa could scale like NFT in Africa. Do Africans really buy NFT? But right now, some of those investors are calling us back because
they're starting to see some things.
There are some things we told them. This was last year. And this year it's happening. And they're like, okay, now we are getting it. Do you understand? So at the point where I am at now is picking which investor to pick, which investment hub to pick.
Oh, there's a lot coming for you.
There's a lot there, exactly. Wow. So which one to accept? Although I think I've made my mind on one of them already, but I'm still going to hear the others. I just wish that if the money was really approved by last year, by now we probably would have been in profit, because people will be using our platform instead of OpenSea.
But regardless of some of the let me not use the word regardless, we can appreciate some of the challenges that Qlip It has had over time, but there's no we can't ignore the fact that you've equally done some impressive things like the Fifth Avenue movie releasing a collection of NFTs. I think that was the first African movie to have like an NFT collection, and more so the Beningin Collectibles. So let's speak to us about some of those achievements.
Okay, thank you. Before even talking about that, I think one of the greatest achievements that I would say, I know the collection is really good, but I'm really, really happy about the NFT Academy.
Okay.
Qlip NFT Academy, because the challenge we had to conquer was the challenge of education. So a lot of people didn't understand what NFTs were when we started. So we said, okay, fine, let's build an NFT Academy. So that someone asks, what is this? We just give you a link. You
to go and read up. Okay.
To go read up, and you're able to come back to the community to ask questions and get answers. So I'm really happy about that. Then the next the next that I'm really happy about is the Beningin Collectibles, because of what it represents. It wasn't an NFT collection we did for flipping, and it was non-generative. It is non-generative. The reason is, looking at the space, it seems like developers are making all the money because it's generative art. You just go create stuff, put some codes together, randomize the whole thing, and then bam, 10,000 different copies appear. You get, rather than as opposed to the artists who do the real work. So what we did over time was got artists together from different parts of the country, and we said, okay, this is the tribes we want to do NFTs on. And because we couldn't really do generative arts with that, because these are real life characters. The tribes are real life characters. Okay. It would be remiss for you to give an Igbo man's hat to a Hausa man. Okay. The computer does not know that. It is people that know that. And if we had to put that in code, it's more lines of codes, because you now have to structure each code to each character. That's a different thing. So we had to do everything manually. Got artists, paid them. We've not finished paying them, but to pay them something. Pay them. They designed. We got one of the artists to help us with research of the different tribes. Okay. So he gave a template, and then this artist created this things. This is real work going in. And then we also had to do the variations to different backgrounds. Do the maths and the logic.
Yeah, but it's available on OpenSea, right?
Yes, it is available on OpenSea. Because our platform we're thinking, Qlip, the MVP isn't like ready the way we want it to be.
But it will be ready.
It will be ready, definitely. Okay, but so we didn't want to be counterproductive, because at first I was like, we'll see. But then again, it is what it is. At the moment, some things are not ready. So we had to just scale and mint on Polygon network because of the users. We wanted to mint on Ethereum, but people would say Ethereum fees are high, trying to get, even though we know a lot of the users are there. Yes, a lot of investors, people, earth holders really who love NFTs on Ethereum network. So we said, okay, fine, let's do it on Polygon. And what it has done for us, apart from helping our people in our space appreciate more the African culture, it helped us see beyond just wanting to flip NFTs. Okay. And then it helped us also see that it seems like in Africa, people really, really don't care so much about the culture, because a lot of people who bought the NFTs were, the white guys. Okay. And like, why do you guys should appreciate this thing so much, more than us, that, it is about and all. So it just made us see the market in a certain light. Okay. So it gave us some sort of understanding. Okay. So if we were to really make this product work, we were to make the MVP, so that's the first version of the marketplace work, there's some things that we would need to do. There's some kind of education we would need to give to the people. So it helped us see the market in a different light. Then talking about Fifth Avenue, the utility for Beningin Collection is, we have a game. I think that will be like the first African-centric kind of
Is it a play-to-earn game?
Yes, it is a play-to-earn game, but with a different model, because over time we've seen how the play-to-earn
space works.
Space, yes, has been, and what could be done to improve, the space, to prevent dumping of the tokens over time, such as like to create an economy within the
That will
the
help,
gaming, yes, the gaming
sustain on the long
ecosystem.
term.
Exactly,
Okay.
that thing.
Okay.
So for Fifth Avenue, primarily the utility was for the platform that the movie was launching on. So it launched on Qlip, and so we did an NFT for the movie for that day. So it was premiering. So the premiering, I think the NFT sold out before there weren't so much. Yes,
Okay.
there wasn't so much though. But
Faces of the characters.
yes,
in the
of
movie,
the characters,
right? Okay.
and some certain scenes in the movie. So we did that, and the people who got access to the platform that it
Okay.
was. So it's like, say if it was on Qlip and monthly subscription was a certain amount. So if you had the NFT, you had access. You didn't need to pay again for subscription to the movies.
Okay.
So we're hoping that was just to show
Some
us,
of the-
yes,
okay.
exactly, that these things can be worked on, and there is some sort of demand for this, even though it looks like it's not so much, but people actually wanted to buy the NFTs, and people actually went out of their way to buy it. We also understood that, to make it work in this market, we need to also set up some sort of P2P platform for NFTs where people can easily exchange their Naira for NFTs. So it makes the payment system easy.
Seamless.
So
That's a
these
good
are
one.
things that we learned over time. Working, getting the product ready, even though the marketplace wasn't really so well there,
Okay.
but we worked on other aspects and it helped. So at the moment, when funding is available, we know exactly what to start with
okay.
first, what to do, what to change, which developers to hire.
That's
and all.
fantastic. That's fantastic. I think it's quite remarkable what you've been able to achieve despite the setbacks. We do understand that setbacks are inevitable when someone is on a mission. And, to also elaborate or just touch a bit on what you did say, right now it seems as if there's an NFT bubble, going on. Like after, I don't know if you came across on Twitter, a tweet about an NYSC corper who sold a picture of and also the Ghanaian pallbearers dance selling on, an NFT marketplace. So it just goes to show that right now there's an NFT bubble. And I think that's where Qlip It can come in, utilizing your NFT Academy to bridge that knowledge gap. Because a lot of people still don't understand what it's about.
It's true.
So we still have more things to talk about, but we'll take another commercial. We'll pick it up. Stay with us.
Oh, Qlip. No. It's pronounced Qlip and not Qlip. Qlip. Qlip is Africa's #1 NFT platform. This means it's passionate about valuing, distributing, and adding utility to African art through NFTs. Imagine owning the original copy of Wizkid's track, Essence, as an NFT. There are other use cases of NFTs.
Welcome to another episode on exploring NFT projects. We're going to be checking the MeBytes NFT. The creators behind CryptoPunks, one of the most popular NFT projects on the web, just revealed their latest project called MeBytes. The project boasts 20,000 procedural generated 3D characters that are tradable on the Ethereum blockchain. MeBytes arrives at a time of peak hype for their first effort, CryptoPunks, which is weeks away from a Christie's auction.
Hello, my name is Chiki and I'm the boy of the bullet.
Keep watching Crypto TV Plus.
Don't touch that. Peace.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Inside Blockchain, live from Crypto TV Plus, and we're still looking at the NFT space and some of the remarkable things and very key things that have happened so far, as I'm joined live in the studio by Karla Obakpolor, the CEO of Qlip.io and CryptoSmartNow.io. Karla, once again, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Karla has been sharing so much knowledge on NFTs, and right now I think it's only right that we should tokenize this conversation right now and just put it on an NFT marketplace. It's just simply fantastic, some of the limitless use cases that the blockchain technology presents, and it's very fantastic, So Karla, I think right now I want us to talk a bit about your platform, CryptoSmart.
Okay.
CryptoSmart. I think that was one of the solutions you started before Qlip.
Qlip, yeah.
Okay, so talk to us about that. What's going on?
Okay.
Another deep breath.
It's yes, another deep breath.
Okay.
Because it's been amazing. We started Crypto Smart in February last year, and I remember starting with $200.
$200.
Yes.
Wow.
The idea was, so the idea came to me was we had a lot of people who didn't know so much about blockchain or crypto, but had the funds, but didn't have enough time to put into it. And then on the other hand, we had companies who were trading people's assets and losing their money because of the business model. I understand how that business model is. So we wanted to bring the solution to help users, help investors first identify crypto assets to purchase. Then we help them purchase these assets and we send it to them. So we don't hold anybody's assets. And then we let them know when to sell. Now, these assets are tracked using manual records. So basically manual records, spreadsheets that we both have access to, but we don't, edit and all. So I said we started in February with $200. There was not enough money at that point. So I called some of my friends and I presented the idea to them that this is what I think we should do. Although a lot of them were not as knowledgeable as I am in crypto, but they had some sort of faith, and then we started. And so I told one of the guys he's a FA person. He's very good with FA. That's champion. Some persons will know him.
That's fundamental analysis.
Yes. So he said, okay. So I said, what will happen is $200. What do we do? How do we
how do we multiply
so
this?
We said, okay, trade this. He gave some calls. Buy this, buy this, buy this, and we bought. And $200 became about $600 within. That was like the top of. That was the period where we were top of the bull market. All that stuff. So we utilized that and started building with that before we had some investors come in and then register the company and all. So we didn't really get so much clients till around April. So it was like 2 months of working, marketing and all. And then by April, we got a client. And that was like the crash. That was before the crash. So one thing that helped us understood a lot about our business model, we bought some of the assets we bought for this client was Solana. And at that period, we had done our analysis. We knew that, okay, money is entering Solana, there's investments, it's a new tech. These are some of the things that are coming in. So we said, okay, we'll buy Solana for you and some other assets. So we bought we did everything, sent them to him, and then there was a crash. So now we understood what we wanted to do. And it was thankful because before he invested, I made sure I told him, this market is highly volatile. And people don't usually do that. You can't put in money that you need sharp. So don't put your house rent and stuff.
You should have like a disclaimer.
We do that, but it's not a disclaimer as per just to protect us. It's to also make the investor aware. Because a lot of times they're not aware of some of the risks. Yes, of the risks. So and if you tell us that, oh, this money is your house rent, we tell you don't put it. No, we've toned them down. Don't put it, because tomorrow you come and tell me, $100 or $1,000 is now $100. We told you before.
It happens a lot of time in this space.
So we had let him know before time. So when the crash came, it wasn't so much of a surprise. So we left it. Fast forward to I think September, October. Something we bought at last year. Something we bought at about $30 to $50. It's now almost $200. And the money has multiplied 4 times. And he put in substantial amounts. So now he understood, like, okay, so this is how this thing works. You get, and he brought another person. And one thing that has kept us is we kept straight to the model. It is slow. We don't get clients so often. It is slow because people want, mostly in Africa, people want sharp money. We tell them, we can't give you sharp money. And we refuse to trade funds for anybody. So one of the other product we brought in was if you have a business, a company, and then you have an accounting firm, you have a finance firm, we would help you set up a trading department. We have essentially set up the structure for your trading department, because we know that companies invest funds with trading companies, so that say your profit is 1 million naira every month. You want to invest that one, maybe invest 500k with a trading company, so you can get interest at least because of the inflation. So the idea is, rather than do that with a company that probably will run away with your money when some things happen, why not invest it in starting up? No, not in Crypto Smart. Okay. Starting up a trading department. So we train your staff, whoever you recommend, we train them. We help you set up a process, a monitoring process. So accounting accounts for the money. Finance disburses and tells you this is the interest that we are expecting back. So it's essentially setting up a system within these companies, rather than helping them become kind of like independent, rather than, because come on, the banks do this. So why not just try?
So that's fantastic. So let's talk a bit about the Bitsave protocol on Crypto Smart, if I'm correct. Yeah. So how does that work? Just help us with a brief explanation on how that works.
Okay, thank you. So okay, before I talk about Bitsave protocol, I would also talk about the Bitsave plan that we had. Okay. Now, recently, I think since December, we decided to start building blockchain products out. So the blockchain products we're building are off our service. So we provide asset management services. And then one of those asset management services is helping people save gradually in cryptocurrencies. So you say you earn a certain amount of money on a weekly or monthly basis. You put a portion of that amount, so maybe 10 or 20%, into buying crypto assets and holding them long time. So we started that plan for everybody, basically. Then in December, we decided, it was part of our roadmap, we decided that, okay, so it's time to go on-chain, So these services that we provide manually, we're going to build a blockchain product to help people do it themselves, using the protocol. So the first one is the Bitsave protocol. So it is essentially a savings plan. So you come in as a user, you create a savings plan, maybe house rent, maybe school fees, or maybe wedding. New business. Yeah, business. Wedding. People also say that's for a good wedding. One. Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Yeah. So wedding, and then you can make unlimited deposits. Now, as you make these deposits, your interest is being calculated. Okay. Now, what we did, we looked at the economic system of the world, the way it seems like the Fed's arbitrary set rates, based on what they think the money supply is. Yes, yeah. But the thing now is creating a formula where the interest rate is determined based on the time, on the total value that's locked on the protocol, and based on the reward pool, the amount that's in the reward pool. So we had some variables that we put in, which would be in the protocol, and some constants. One of the I can't say that, my lawyer will finish me. I was supposed to patent the formula and stuff. Okay. So, but essentially what it is the rates are not set by a centralized body. They're set by the algorithm, and they're set based on some variables, which is the total value locked in the protocol. So somebody who's depositing a certain amount at a time where the TVL is $100,000 will get a different rate from someone who is depositing at a time when the TVL is $1 million. But the difference now is the TVL is done in such a way that it reflects the token price. So the idea is TVL is supposed to be directly proportional to increase in the price of CSA, because CSA is where you're receiving your interest.
I think you're speaking very technical now. You need to actually break it down for the viewers out there.
Okay. Let me break it down. So if you make a deposit of $10,000 at the time TVL is $100,000. All right. CSA rewards would most likely be, let's say at the moment, 140 CSA tokens.
By CSA, you're referring to the Crypto Smart token. Yes, the Crypto Smart token. Fantastic.
So now, somebody who deposits that same $100,000 at the time when TVL is $1 million would most likely receive CSA rewards of 14 CSA. But the difference is that the price at which CSA was at when TVL was $100,000 is higher is lower than when the price was, than when the TVL was $1 million.
All right.
So it's just like what happened with Bitcoin. When years ago you could mine Bitcoin with your laptop and you could mine like 2,000 BTC, but the value of 2,000 BTC then was really small.
Yeah.
Because of what was in the protocol.
Yeah.
Because of the algorithm. Sorry. Now, to mine BTC, computational power increased as the value of the token increased.
Yeah.
So you need to solve more hard maths, which would take more computational power. But the little BTC you would get still retains its, its large value. So that's the kind of thing we're trying to mimic, because we looked at it. If we're going to mimic any protocol, which one is, in quotes, perfect, that is truly decentralized, that has no central body system?
So are we looking at a proof of stake algorithm, type of algorithm? Because you made mention of Bitcoin.
We're looking at SafeFi.
Okay.
So that's what we call it.
All right.
SafeFi. So our finance system, when the common man deposits savings, the interest is minuscule. So we don't want that for the same people, because I told you before, we're essentially building for Africans. But that doesn't mean that people outside Africa won't use the protocol. So the idea is, when you save, there should be substantial interest that you can receive from that savings. There's also a buyback mechanism that is in the protocol, such that CSA, the token increases in value over time. So it's like a circle. The more people come in to use the protocol, the more value the protocol has.
So what about the liquidity?
The liquidity is essentially
because if
also
you're giving people a higher percentage of interest from saving.
No, we're not doing that. It's the algorithm that does that.
All right.
So we can't say this is what it should be. The algorithm would say how much value is in the protocol at the moment, and then how much CSA reward is in the pool at the moment. So depending on the value and the amount, it calculates what the appropriate interest rate should be. So what we looked at was appropriation and timing. That was what we looked at. Because timing is important in finance. Appropriation also is important. So we don't set it automatically. We just put the maths, because maths is amazing. 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I guess class is in session right now. Class is in session. That's very, very fantastic, Karla. Very, very technical.
Don't worry. When it's out, when we've done the patents and everything, we would explain how the protocol works for everyone to understand.
Do that for everyone to understand. Okay, so before we let you go, just to wrap it up, so looking at the NFT space right now, when you relate it to some of the bad players, there have been some NFT protocols, some NFT projects that have been rug pulled, and a lot recently we learned that OpenSea, there was a bit of a malfunction where people were buying NFTs for less, lower than the floor price and all that. So when you look at some of these things that have happened over time, and the NFT bubble that is going on right now, specifically in Nigeria, we've seen the youth corper that sold an NFT of an old man, a drummer, and made so much from it. And we've also seen the Ghanaian pallbearers that sold that video. What do you think is the future for NFTs? Because you remember when we started the conversation, you said the core driver of NFT adoption is the creatives or the artists. And I was of the opinion that it's just based on FOMO, fear of missing out. So looking forward, what would you project to be the future of NFTs, coming from the angle of real world utility? Talk to us.
Okay, so I talked about real estate before, and it's essentially certification.
All right.
So everybody buys land, and then there's some issues where somebody's buying a land that somebody else has already bought.
Yeah,
and somebody else is running away with some other person's money because of the issue of certification. So these documents can be faked, or you can say, government has not issued this, or you can say,
the family is
exactly
over the land. Yeah,
so,
it happens all the time.
If we have a system of certification in real estate where every land ownership is tokenized on the blockchain, and whenever a sale is made, just as the physical deed is transferred, the NFT, the tokenized deed, is transferred to the new owner.
Okay.
So even if I lose that physical deed, or somebody wants to lie, I can go on chain and verify this thing belongs to this person right now at this moment. So you can't come and scam me. Because, but then again, for that to happen, we have to have a government based blockchain system, which we don't have yet.
Moment,
which we probably, I'm not okay. Let's be hopeful.
Yeah,
let's just be
hopeful.
let's just be hopeful.
Yeah.
So that's one area of utility. I also have talked about access utility that people can have, because it's mostly what we use in life, access to different products. You know, there are people who can access some products. There are people who can access some products. So there are people who can access some certain kind of experiences. There are people who can. So access utility with NFTs. I've talked about how artists can use it in the movie industry. Another thing I'm looking at also is tourism. But okay, now the idea for that is with the metaverse and all. On that, okay, let me talk about another one I'm really looking at is our history. Now, we saw something happen recently where the arrest warrant for Nelson Mandela, was tokenized and auctioned, yes, in South Africa. And we can use NFTs to tokenize our history for the future generation. So nobody changes the story that we tell or changes the happenings of a certain period.
Okay.
So we have the history of Africa, of Nigeria. There are certain documents that were signed over time, you know, based on how our country was formed. There are certain values that we have. There are certain political stories that we have, and proof, you know, photograph proof of things that happened during that period. We can actually tokenize these things on chain, and people can say you tokenize it and then there's some sort of other token that's created. People can visit from different parts of the world, either physically or virtually through the metaverse.
Probably they wouldn't even need to visit, you know,
exactly,
just having that virtual
virtual experience. Yeah. I am more of a hands-on person. I would like to visit, you know, places and all. But that's real world utility that we can have. And it can't really be changed. So the next generation can come and see. We have cases today where there's this black thing that's celebrated, you know, a certain African history thing that's celebrated, you know, Black History Month. We have cases where we're hearing new stuff that we otherwise didn't have before. What if we had a platform where our history could be tokenized and not changed or altered by anybody? Okay. You know, even right now as we live, we're creating history. How would we tell the story to our next generation? So that's one, that aspect doesn't look like, doesn't come up from a flipping angle. It's more of a sustainable angle, being able to keep something in place. You get? So the next generation comes and they can just see that, okay, and they can trust that this story is what it is, because nobody would have been able to change it over time. It's on the blockchain. Okay. So these are some use cases. But before we get there, a lot of things have to change.
Yeah, and I guess that's why we have industry key players like you in the NFT space who will definitely, without a doubt, change some of this mindset and just reinvent the entire NFT space so that we can actually have tangible, real-world use cases and utilities that we will see and appreciate. Thank you so much, Karla.
Thank you, Bobby, for having me.
It's been an absolute experience here with you, and thank you so much. That's all I have to say.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
All right, do enjoy the rest of your day.
I will.
And there you have it. NFTs, Metaverse, Web3, the blockchain technology has continued to show that it has limitless use cases that can be applied in our day-to-day activities. We've seen applications in the real estate sector. We've seen applications in the legal sector and in the art sector, NFTs, in the financial sector, even in the health sector. I mean, it's limitless. The only thing you can do for yourself is to acquaint yourself with the knowledge of blockchain, which will help to change the world as we know it. It's been a wonderful experience, and that's all for today. Visit our website, cryptotvplus.com, to get more updates and trends captured within the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter at CryptoTVPlus and on Instagram at official CryptoTVPlus to get daily info on our programs. And Subscribe to our YouTube channel and tap the bell icon to stay updated for the next episode of the Inside Blockchain. And if you have any questions about the program, join me in the comment section below. Thank you for joining us. I am Bobby Ndike. See you next week.